kebanggaanku selalu, aman makmur selamanya Sarawakku. Rakyat bersatu padu, pemimpin mengambil tahu, menuju mercu Sarawak maju. Kita anak Sarawak, sama-sama jaga Sarawak. Kita sayang Sarawak, sanggup berkorban untuk Sarawak. Oh ha, mari raungkan bersama. Sama-sama kita jaga Sarawak. Sarawak sayangku, kebanggaanku selalu, aman makmur selamanya Sarawakku. Rakyat bersatu padu, pemimpin mengambil tahu, menuju mercu Sarawak maju. Kita anak Sarawak, sama belah nyingku Sarawak. Kita sayau ke Sarawak, sanggup bergadai ketangka Sarawak. Oh ha, mari raungkan bersama. Oh ha, membara di dalam jiwa. Inilah negeriku, tanah tumpah darahku, sama-sama kita jaga Sarawak. Sama-sama kita jaga Sarawak.
Sedang membara, jiwa ini tak pernah henti, terus melangkah.
Tiada jurang antara kita, orang kita segenap bangsa.
Marilah kita bangkit bersama demi negara. Bersama kita membangunkannya, marilah kita menjayakannya. Oh ya, lekas kita berdek sama-sama, kini kita maju sama-sama. Tanah kita, ini rumah kita, sama kita bina, sama kita jaga. Lekas
berdampingan sebagai bangsa merdeka, budiman di mata dunia. Semesta bergema, suarakan syair pelbagai budaya, pelbagai bangsa membina saksama. Kesatuan hati, tradisi, ragam agama, semarak menyala, kedaulatan bangsa lahirkan rasa hormat. Bumi Sarawak nan permai, saksi sejarah, sejahterakan perdamaian di persada. Sebagai bangsa merdeka, budiman di mata dunia. Semesta bergema, suarakan syair ragam budaya. 22 Julai, sejahtera Sarawak. Sebagai bangsa merdeka, budiman di mata dunia. Semesta bergema, suarakan syair ragam budaya. 22 Julai, sejahtera Sarawak.
Hi, welcome to With YB Show. You are with me, Yuan, and today I'll be your host. On today's topic, we'll be discuss about the current activities and development in SIBUTI area. And to discuss on today's topic, I would like to welcome Mr. Lukanisman Awang Sauni, Member Ahli Parlimen Malaysia, GPS PBB P218, Kawasan SIBUTI, Sarawak. So, hi YB, welcome to the show.
Hi, Miss Yuan.
So, can you please share with us your path of your political background?
Okay, thank you. I start my political journey when I joined PBB. That was in 2006. I was introduced by my late members of parliament, the late Dato' Ahmad Lai. he was the chairman of, back then was N63 Piassau. He asked me to join to their meeting. On that time, the convention PBB was held in Miri. Then he asked me, are you interested to join PBB? But I said, I'm still working in Kuala Lumpur on that time. Then, luckily, I get an offer from the federal government to be a political department, joining the political department under Communication Ministry, that was known as JASA, Jabatan Hal Ehwal Khas. Then I going back to Miri in 2007. Then I officially joined Dato' Ahmad Lai at that time as a member of Piassau. And then I actively, when I was in university, actually, I'm very active in the student movement, but not on the mainstream political that aligned to the government. This means I tend to support all the what we so-called the left side of the politics, means like more towards to the pembangkang regarding on reformasi, reforms, because it's more idealist for me. Then when I going back to Sarawak, join PBB, I try to change something actually, especially on the mindset of the elders in the PBB. I mean, it's like from the veterans, the seniors. Then I feel that I could change something. But on my journey to learn about the Sarawak politics, then I realized it's not an easy. You cannot sell your idealism to the people, but you need to work it, take an action actually. Perkara yang mudah adalah politik is just not an ideas, or you just can sit down at the coffee house talk about masalah rakyat, but it's actually is practical. You need to be practical in the Sarawak. You need to know, to understand the grassroots feeling in Sarawak. And after that, I take about 10 years working as a jasa. Learn a lot of politics from my late members of parliament, Dato' Ahmad Lai. I always follow him in SIBUTI, looking after his constituency. And then that's it. I was chosen by Yang Amat Berhormat CM Abang Jo, the last PRU 14, as the youngest candidate for PBB and GPS that time.
Like, particularly in your area, what are the inspirations for youth?
Oh, for the youth.
Yeah.
Actually, in my area, I have a lot of youth actually. 30% of percentage of the voters is a youth. I mean, it's like 30 and above. But I have been a problem in terms of the younger generation of the youth. It's slightly like 18 to 21. The understanding of to register as the voters is very low. But actually, I try to get them through my programs. I have a specific program to engage a young generation in SIBUTI, especially start from secondary school. I have this so-called town hall ataupun randau bersama YB, meet-up session with the youth, teh tarik sessions, and I have this I call it SIBUTI challenge, when I have this a lot of tournaments, something like e-sport, futsal, everything, and then it's not just limit to the youth, expand to the women especially. And then saya banyak memperbanyakkan engagement bersama dengan belia-belia, memandangkan keadaan di kawasan luar bandar. My constituency is not just fully rural actually. My kawasan SIBUTI is divided into two area. One is suburban that is Lambe, and part of Lambe is a rural. Then Berkenu is a part of a full rural constituency of Berkenu. So I need have a different engagement to the urban and to the rural. The rural I have give more attention actually because they have a lack of infrastructure in the kampung and rumah panjang. So but they are looking for, they're eager for development, they're eager for a lot of engagement from the YBs and the agencies, and then I need to provide them with the infrastructure, especially the connectivity, roads and internet. So they are supporting the government, especially on the digital economic that introduced by Yang Amat Berhormat Chief Minister of Sarawak. But there's a lot of challenge. Our youth in rural especially, they need a lot of support. So I will elaborate is more later. What is the specific program I prepare for them, my blueprint for the youth in SIBUTI.
So, what kind of program will be involved in the target group?
Okay, so in my area, I have some few of program, especially I divide them into few of target group, especially number one for pelajar-pelajar sekolah, 13 to 18. So most of the time I do some engagement, especially my town hall session or randau bersama pelajar. On that program, I will ask a lot of questions and then throw some ideas to them, especially on Undi 18. Undi 18 is amendment done by the parliament to change the voting age to 21 to 18 years old, and it's automatic voting. So I will throw the ideas. When you are 18 years old, you need to do some understanding that you have tanggungjawab untuk mengundi, untuk memilih kerajaan, choose the right government. So I will have this session at least once a month or two, maybe 2 bulan sekali. I have 8 school in my area, 4 school in Miri and 4 school in Berkenu. So I also get invitations from the school in Miri Parliament. So I will engage them. Then I have this program above 21. This above 21 is very important. My program is focused on job creation, economic, agriculture, and some focus on women empowerment. So this is the program that I introduced in my kawasan. I also have this special program that I call it SIBUTI Challenge that focus on sport, e-sport, and then some of this what I call it speaker corners that I open in my school, that I ask a lot of students to express their feeling, either through videos, through public speaking. Then I will reward them something if they dare to say something good. Then it's now giving me a good positive feedback. I was surprised that my student in SIBUTI can ask question on economic wars between US and China. It's about Huawei and something like river pollutions, deforestations, and the drugs issues in my kawasan. Okay.
So, how would you inspire them and motivate them?
It's very easy. Just show a good leadership, a good quality, perform in the parliaments, especially voicing out the youth sentiment in the parliament. For example, I bring the issues on the needs of youth to build a motorsport track or drag strip tracks, at least in Sarawak, one track in Sarawak. Then I voice out about the concern of the youth on regarding pollutions, that the government need to do something serious on the water pollutions, air pollutions, especially in the rurals. And then I also try to get them, engage them through the social media, especially Twitters, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Yeah, yeah.
So how would you inspire them and motivate them?
I'm very practical leader. Most of the time, I do some teh tarik session, kopi o session, gather them, let them express what they want to do for their kawasan, especially the programs. Because youth is not just, they have a lot of activities, not just concentrate in one activities. I worried if the government only focus in one program for the youth. Actually, youth, you need to cater a lot of things. Some of the youth like reading, some of the youth like painting of the wall, some of the youth like doing the sport, some of the youth like to do digital sport, like e-digital, like PUBG, Mobile Legends. Some of the youth like to do some community service in the area. Some of the youth like doing busking, music. Some of the youth maybe just doing drugs. So this kind of things I need to get to tackle the problems. Selain daripada itu, di SIBUTI kita banyak membantu para belia untuk keluar daripada kepompongan kampung. The kampung centric means like you need to challenge yourself, keluar daripada SIBUTI, take the opportunity, dan learn something new lah, especially on generating incomes, do something like positive for yourself lah. Okay.
Alright, we will take a short break. When we come back, we will ask more questions on youth development and the incentive that you provide. So stay tuned with us. Hi, welcome back with YB Show, where we'll be discussing in your SIBUTI area. So what are the inspiration of youth?
Okay, so talking about inspiration, Miss Yuen, I like to mention about this what we call a leadership. Okay, as a young member of parliament, I refuse to say that leadership is born or inherit from your parents. I believe that leadership must be grooming. It's like a seed. Youth is like a seed. You need to water it. So from that you will get a result. As a leader or a youth leadership, you must get them to grow in positive way, and then you get the results. So that is how I memberi inspirasi kepada belia-belia di kawasan saya. So and then one more thing, as a leader, I'm not very particular on who is going to follow me. Actually, I want to show to them, especially the youth, what I can do to give them a good example, and if I'm doing well, then it's good for them, and they will follow the dreams.
The youngsters in your area, how can they participate in the modern agriculture and the digital information technology?
Okay, the challenge is, I will answer on digital economy first. The big challenge for SIBUTI is connectivity. The penetration of the internet in my kawasan is very low. Yes, Yang Amat Berhormat CM Abang Jo did announce that Sarawak will build more telecommunication towers, but it's not enough actually. We need something tangible, some things that very serious from the both sides, state government and the federal government. During the previous parliament session, even my first debate in parliament, the first thing I raised up is connectivity, internet, unify. Even in my office that time, I don't have unified service in Taman Tengku. But luckily, after 2 years, voicing up the same question in the parliament, then we managed to install Unify in this Taman Tengku area. But how about Berkenu? How about Batu Niah? This need takes time, and digital economics now is very practical after the COVID-19. Then you see during the MCO, people start selling fish, chicken, maybe some foods through the digital application, Facebook, apps. I still remember during 2017 when CM announced on Sarawak Pay. A lot of people thinks this wallet will be big failure. But yesterday, when you read the news, the transaction done by Sarawak Pay is almost 500 millions. That is a success story. But the problem is we need to do some promoting, marketing. And for the youth, I asked the Chief Minister to build one innovation center in Berkenu that is under Tegas. I want to have some area that can provide office to the youth who want to do some registration of business, some incubator, some place together to get the youth understand what is the digital economic is all about. It's not just playing Facebook, playing YouTube. You can be a content creator. You can not just sending TikTok to your friend, but you can get sponsorship from the TikTok if you are famous. If you are be an influencers. I try to get all the youth in my kawasan to be influencers so they can generating income. It's not just the youth, even the bapa, mak, uncle, pakcik in the kawasan, if they have the idea, maybe they can be some like sugu pavita, just cook simply dish, then they have a lot of viewers, a lot of followers. Same goes to the Facebook. Use the Facebook as the platform. So that is the only the best way for me to engage the youth to adapt the digital economy agenda for Sarawak. And then I can share to you. You can check to my Hansat or to the youth regarding policy that introduced by CM Abang Jo, especially on digital economy, IR 4.0, and AI. During the kajian Sepenggal, saya mencelah Yang Amat Berhormat Port Dickson, that was Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, during his debate regarding on polisi kerajaan yang perlu ke arah ekonomi digital. Dan saya mencelah dan bertanya kepada Datuk Seri Anwar, Sarawak telah memperkenalkan digital ekonomi sejak daripada tahun 2017. Then he just simply answered me, yes, he admit that Sarawak have a best and better policy compared to federal government on digital economy, on IR 5.0. Because when you see the budget on 2020, on RMK 12 very soon, government will focus more on digital wallets, IR 4.0. That means CM Abang Jo is ahead of time. But the problem is our people, our youth, feel not confident to this agenda. But after COVID-19, I can see a lot of students, a lot of youth, a lot of people now, businessmen, businesswomen, engage using digital apps and digital wallet to do their business. And for agriculture, I have this special fund under agriculture program that I call it bantuan pertanian, input pertanian. Then I also distribute about 50,000 to Musang King seed to all rumah panjang in kampung. Every pintu must receive about 5 Musang King seed. Then I hope for next 3 or 5 years, every SIBUTI household have Musang King to sell. And then this is not just limited to Musang King. We have this some fertigations, chili fertigations. We have the success story about it. We have some what we call it tanaman mudah jual. Something like sayur-sayuran. We do some hydroponics. And I ask Yang Berhormat Datuk Amar Douglas Ugah to consider that Kabuluh area in Lambe to transform that area from station pertanian to agriculture hub or the collecting center, mega collecting center for Miri. So we have a success story on pineapple. And then last week I just visit 30 acres of pineapple ladang just nearby here in my Pusat Hikmat. So it's done by the community. I'm encourage my community to involve in not just kelapa sawit but some cash crop, especially easy to sell and have the potential to export, especially in China market, Singapore. Actually, Singapore is better market for us, Bruneians, and then some European country. So my focus is also digital economy, at the same time agriculture. So this will give more opportunity to graduate, because at this time it's not easy to get a job. But we have a vast of land here. Maybe we can borrow from the government, if not owned by us, just borrow for the government. I think government will willing to help the youth, especially on agriculture, because we have a big potential actually. In terms of development of agriculture here in Malaysia, I think we just a bit kalah to Sabah actually. Sabah done much more better. So we need to learn. We need to learn, we need to explore the potential, we need to do some visit to big agriculture company and get some feedback and take an action. Tanam sayur, tanam jagung, everything. So it will generating income.
Thank you for being here and sharing your aspiration. Okay, thank you.
So involve us in the greater Miri plan, especially on tourism. We need each other. Miri and SIBUTI can work together on this tourism, domestic tourism industry. Even though Abang Jo have these vibrant ideas, but he also doing some very serious in terms of developments, physical developments. That's why he just luluskan 2 billion for water grid system, built the bridge, also built the coastal road, and then luckily we are come back as a federal government and we are part of the government, so we're going to ask more fund